like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.
Okay, so today we're diving into this whole Chlöe and Burna Boy thing.
Yeah.
You know, you sent me a ton of like articles and video clips about them.
Yeah, I did.
So I guess the big question is, are they a thing?
Right.
Is this like a real couple or what's going on?
I mean, the internet's already like losing its mind about it.
Yeah, especially with that video that surfaced from Nigeria.
Yeah, that one is pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because, you know, Nigeria's Burna Boy's home country.
Oh, right.
So it sort of adds like another layer to it.
It does.
You know, like, is he introducing her to like more than just, you know, a night out?
Right.
Like, what's going on there?
Exactly. It feels a little more deliberate.
It does.
Than just like a random club appearance.
Yeah. And then you've got like his friend posting a clip with a caption.
Oh, yeah.
Having, you know, the hottest chick right there.
Okay. Yeah, that's not subtle at all.
Not subtle at all.
No.
And, you know, when you look at like Burna Boy's past relationships, there's a bit of a pattern here.
Oh, really?
You know, like Stefflon Don,
Yeah.
Jada Tingdom,
Right.
both very public figures, both, you know, linked to him romantically.
Right.
And both situations generated a lot of headlines.
Yeah, you're right. And we can't forget the music part of this.
Oh, yeah.
Stefflon Don basically called out Jada Kingdom in Dat Dat.
She did.
And then Jada fired back on social media.
Yeah.
It's like they're using their music and their platforms to play out the drama in public.
Exactly. And this is not new. This has been going on for decades.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, you see it with like everyone from like Taylor Swift to Drake.
Right.
To even going back to like blues singers from like the early 20th century. It's like almost this like public display of emotion is just ingrained in like the DNA of musical expression.
That's so interesting. So do you think it's a way to kind of control the narrative?
Oh, for sure.
Like instead of letting the rumors run wild, they're putting their own spin on things through their art.
Totally. I mean, it's like taking back some power, right? In a world where like their personal lives are just constantly under scrutiny.
Oh, for sure.
But now you've also got Chlöe in the mix.
Yeah.
And she's no stranger to the rumor mill either.
Oh, yeah. The Offset situation definitely comes to mind.
Yes.
That performance where she jumped into his arms.
Yes.
And then they were photographed holding hands at the Palladium.
Right.
Although Gunna being there, too, makes it a little less clear-cut.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. And this is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Because you have two people now who are very much aware of how their actions are perceived.
Right.
Especially in the age of social media.
Oh, my gosh.
Every interaction.
It's fuel for gossip.
It's fuel for the gossip machine.
Yeah.
So are they playing into it?
I don't know.
Are they trying to like throw us off the scent?
Right.
Or are they genuinely just enjoying each other's company and not caring about the headlines?
It's the million-dollar question.
It is.
This is where we have to start thinking about like the role of celebrity in our culture.
I think so.
Why are we so fascinated
girl.
by these relationships?
Right.
Why do we dissect their every move?
Exactly.
I think it's more than just gossip.
Okay.
I think it's about trying to understand these larger-than-life figures, these people who seem to have it all,
Okay.
and their relationships
Yeah.
become a way for us to relate to them,
I see.
to see them as human beings
Right.
with the same desires and vulnerabilities that we have.
I agree. It's like a window into a world
Yes.
that most of us will never experience firsthand.
Exactly.
But the question is, are we getting a clear view?
Ooh.
Or are we just seeing a distorted reflection?
That is the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are we buying into like a carefully constructed image?
Yeah.
Or are we seeing genuine moments of connection? How much of it is just our own projection?
Right. And, you know,
Yeah,
when you think about it, like Chlöe and Burna Boy both have like very distinct public images.
they do.
She's often seen as this confident, empowering figure, while he's known for his bad boy persona and his sometimes controversial lyrics.
Right. So how does that play into the public's perception of their potential relationship?
That's a good question.
Are we seeing them as individuals, or are we already fitting them into preconceived narratives?
That's where the real deep dive begins.
Okay.
But we have to like peel back the layers, look beyond the surface,
Right.
and try to understand the motivations and desires that are driving these two individuals.
Moody, I'm ready. Let's go deeper.
Let's do it.
You know, it's funny. We're talking about like peeling back these layers.
Yeah.
But in a way, like the public image itself is a layer, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Like we have this idea of who Chlöe and Burna Boy are, based on their music, their videos, their social media.
Right. So like they're presenting a carefully curated version of themselves to the world.
Right.
And then we, the audience, are left to like piece together the puzzle,
Right.
trying to figure out what's real. Yeah.
What's just like part of the performance.
And with social media, that performance is happening 24/7.
Oh, yeah.
You know, every post, every comment.
It's all part of it.
It all contributes to this image they're creating.
It's almost like a reality show.
Wow.
Where they're both the stars and the producers.
That's a great analogy.
Right.
And it goes back to what we were saying about like musicians using their platforms to control the narrative. They're not just passively letting the media shape their image.
Right.
They're actively participating in the process.
Totally.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
It gives them a voice, a way to connect with their fans on their own terms.
Right.
But it also makes it harder for us as outsiders.
It does.
To know where that line blurs between the public persona and the private individual.
That's tricky.
And I think that's part of the reason why we're so captivated.
I think so, too.
By these relationship rumors.
We're trying to decode their actions.
Yeah.
Looking for clues that might reveal something genuine.
Right.
Something authentic amidst all the carefully crafted imagery.
You know, and sometimes we might be reading too much into things.
Oh, totally.
Like a glance, a touch.
Yeah.
A comment taken out of context.
Oh, for sure.
But that's human nature, isn't it?
I think so.
Like, we're wired to look for patterns.
That's right.
To make sense of the world around us.
Yeah.
And when it comes to celebrities, our brains are working overtime.
Right.
Trying to fit them into narratives that we understand.
Totally.
You know?
I guess it's that desire for a story.
Yeah.
For a sense of order in a world that can often feel chaotic.
I agree.
And celebrity relationships, they provide that.
Yeah.
They give us a plot character's conflict resolution.
It's like a real-life soap opera playing out in front of our eyes.
Exactly. And just like in a soap opera, we get invested in the characters.
Totally.
We want them to be happy. We root for them.
Mm-hmm.
We feel their pain when things go wrong.
We do.
It's like we're living vicariously through them, experiencing these heightened emotions.
Right.
These dramatic twists and turns that we might not have in our own lives.
And there's a safety in that, too.
Oh, really?
We can indulge in the drama without actually having to deal with the real-life consequences.
Interesting.
It's a form of escapism, a way to disconnect from our own problems.
Right.
And immerse ourselves in a world of glamour and intrigue.
But even with that distance, there's still that element of relatability.
Absolutely.
You know, at the end of the day, these are human beings.
Right.
With the same basic needs and desires that we all have.
Yeah, exactly.
Love, connection, validation.
Right. And I think that's what makes the Chlöe and Burna Boy situation so fascinating.
Okay.
They're both incredibly talented individuals.
They are.
Who have achieved massive success in their respective fields, but they're also navigating the same complexities of relationships that we all do.
They're figuring things out in the public eye.
Exactly.
Under constant scrutiny from the media and their fans.
It's a lot of pressure.
And that adds a whole other layer of pressure and expectation.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it.
Okay.
They're not just dealing with their own feelings and the dynamics of their relationship.
Right.
They're also having to manage the public perception.
Yeah.
The rumors, the speculation.
It's like their personal lives have become a commodity.
Yeah.
Something to be consumed and dissected by the masses.
That's a good point.
And that can't be easy.
No.
It has to take a toll on their mental and emotional well-being.
For sure. And, you know, it's something that we as consumers of this celebrity culture need to be more mindful of.
Oh, absolutely.
We have a responsibility to recognize that these are real people with real feelings.
Right.
And that our obsession with their personal lives can have real-world consequences.
So what does that look like?
Yeah.
How do we engage with celebrity culture in a way that's both entertaining and respectful?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
And it's one that we all need to grapple with.
Right.
I think it starts with recognizing the humanity of these individuals.
Okay.
Remembering that they're not just characters in a story that we're creating.
It's about seeing them as complex, multifaceted people who deserve our empathy and compassion.
Right.
Even if we don't always agree with their choices or understand their motivations.
And it's about being critical of the narratives that we're consuming.
Okay.
Asking ourselves, where is this information coming from? What are the biases involved? Am I letting my own projections and assumptions cloud my judgment?
Yeah. These are important questions.
They are.
We need to be more discerning consumers of information.
Yeah, especially in the age of social media.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Where misinformation can spread like wildfire.
Right, and we need to be more mindful of the impact
Yes.
that our words and actions can have on others.
For sure.
Even those who seem distant and removed from our everyday lives.
I agree. It's about recognizing that we all have a role to play in creating a more humane and compassionate world, both online and offline.
And, bringing it back to Chlöe and Burna Boy,
Yeah.
I think their situation highlights the importance of these conversations.
It does.
Their relationship, however it unfolds,
Right.
is a reminder that even those who seem to have it all are still grappling with the same fundamental human challenges
Absolutely.
that we all face.
It's a reminder that love, connection, and vulnerability are universal experiences that transcend social status, fame, and fortune.
Well said. So where do we go from here? How do we take these insights
Good question.
and apply them to our own lives?
Right.
To the way we interact with the world around us?
That's the question we need to keep asking ourselves.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not about finding easy answers or simple solutions.
Right.
It's about engaging in ongoing dialogue, being open to different perspectives, and constantly challenging our own assumptions and biases.
It's about recognizing that we're all on a journey of learning and growth.
Right.
And that we can learn from each other.
Yeah.
Even those who seem very different from ourselves.
Sometimes the most unexpected pairings,
Oh, yeah.
the ones that challenge our preconceived notions, can lead to the most profound insights
Interesting.
and the most meaningful connections.
I like that. It's a reminder that life is full of surprises.
It is.
And that we should always be open to new possibilities, new perspectives, and new ways of seeing the world.
And it's a reminder that even in the midst of all the noise and the chaos, there's still beauty to be found, connection to be made, and humanity to be celebrated.
That's beautiful.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what are some key takeaways that we want to leave our listener with?
What have we learned?
I think it's important to emphasize the multi-layered nature of celebrity. We're often presented with a carefully crafted image.
Right.
But there's always more to the story than meets the eye.
And as consumers of this culture, we need to be more critical of the narratives we're consuming. What are the motivations behind these public displays? How much of it is genuine? How much of it is performance?
And most importantly, we need to remember that celebrities are human beings with real feelings and complex lives.
Right.
Our fascination with their personal lives shouldn't come at the expense of their well-being.
It's about finding that balance between enjoying the entertainment value of celebrity culture and recognizing the humanity of the individuals involved.
Exactly. And it's a balance that we all need to strive for, not just in our interactions with celebrities, but in all our relationships.
All right, let's pause here for a moment and let those ideas sink in.
Yeah.
I think we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
In this part of our deep dive. We've explored the complexities of celebrity image, the psychology of our fascination with their relationships, and the ethical considerations that we need to be mindful of.
Absolutely.
So, okay, we've talked about all these layers of celebrity and the ethical considerations.
Right.
But where does that leave us with Chlöe and Burna Boy?
I mean, right back to that initial question.
Yeah.
Are they really a couple?
Right.
Or is this just clever PR?
Ooh.
It's tough to say for sure.
It is.
And honestly, that's part of the fun, isn't it?
It is.
Trying to decipher the clues, read between the lines.
It's like a puzzle, but the pieces keep changing.
Right.
And maybe there's no right answer.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not about arriving at a definitive conclusion.
Okay.
But it's more about enjoying the process of exploration, of trying to understand these two individuals and the dynamics at play.
I think that's a really insightful point.
Oh, thanks.
We're so conditioned to want a clear-cut answer.
Oh, yeah.
Like a yes or no.
Totally.
But sometimes the most interesting stories are the ones that defy easy categorization.
Exactly. And Chlöe and Burna Boy are definitely not your typical couple.
If they are even a couple at all.
Right.
You have her this rising star in the R&B world, known for her empowering anthems And him, this global Afrobeats icon with a bit of a bad boy reputation.
It's an intriguing combination.
It is.
It makes you wonder how their individual personalities and their public images might influence how their relationship is perceived.
Absolutely.
Both by the media and by their fans.
I think so.
Right? Like, are we projecting our own expectations onto them? Our own desires for a certain type of love story?
That's a good question.
Are we seeing them as individuals?
Yeah.
Or are we just fitting them into preconceived narratives about what a power couple should look like?
Those are great questions. And I think they get to the heart of why we're so fascinated by celebrity relationships.
Oh, yeah.
We're not just observing their lives. We're actively participating in the construction of their narratives.
Well, yeah.
We're filling in the gaps with our own assumptions, our own hopes and fears, our own desires for a happy ending.
It's almost like we're creating fan fiction in real time.
It is.
Weaving together these intricate stories based on these snippets of information, these fleeting glimpses into their lives.
And social media just amplifies that.
Oh, absolutely.
Every comment, every shared photo, it all contributes to this collective storytelling.
It does.
We're all authors in a way.
Wow.
Shaping the narrative with our own interpretations and speculations.
And, thinking about it that way makes the whole idea of a definitive answer even less relevant.
Yeah.
The story of Chlöe and Burna Boy, however it unfolds, is a story that's being written in real time with multiple authors.
Absolutely.
And countless interpretations.
That's what makes it so compelling.
It is. It's messy. It's complicated. It's full of contradictions.
Yeah.
Just like life itself.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe the takeaway isn't about figuring out whether Chlöe and Burna Boy are really a thing. Maybe it's more about recognizing the fluidity of narratives. The power of our collective imagination.
Absolutely.
And the beauty of a story that's still being written.
It's about embracing the mystery.
Yes.
The ambiguity, the not knowing.
And it's about finding joy in the process of exploration.
Yeah.
Of piecing together this puzzle, even if we never quite find the complete picture.
That's a great note to end on.
Yeah. We may never know the full story.
Right.
But that's okay.
Exactly.
The fun is in the journey.
Yeah.
In the speculation. In the shared experience of trying to make sense of it all.
Exactly. And sometimes the most intriguing stories are the ones that leave us with more questions than answers.
They do.
They spark our curiosity. They ignite our imaginations, and they invite us to keep exploring.
So to you listening, what do you think?
Yeah.
What's your take on this whole Chlöe and Burna Boy saga?
Are they a match made in musical heaven?
Oh.
Or just a fleeting moment of connection?
That's a good question.
There's no right or wrong answer.
Right.
Only your own interpretation.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe someday we'll have more pieces to the puzzle.
Maybe.
But until then, let's enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
The speculation, the ongoing conversation.
Absolutely.
And remember, there's a whole world of fascinating stories out there just waiting to be explored.
That's true.
Until our next deep dive, stay curious and keep those conversations going.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.